What's up, everybody? Yeah, another video here I'm about to play. It shows Kamala Harris loses it on the Jimmy Kimmel show when she realized Trump was right about Epstein and Democrats. So let's go. That was just 8 hours ago. So let's get to the video.
Take a look at what happened.
Why this beat so crazy?
We will make America proud again. If you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Family, you just can't make this up. This heifer still coming out drunk as hell, word salad, and don't know what the hell she talking about, and then get caught up, and then and Jimmy Kimmel, I thought they canceled this long time ago. ABC, just a disgrace, man. This clown is still aired. And just look.
Why didn't the Biden administration release those files? Was that something that they felt would look bad while running against this guy, or why didn't they come out during your administration?
To give you an answer that will not satisfy your curiosity, I will tell you, perhaps to our damage, but we strongly and rightly believe that there should be an absolute separation between what we wanted as an administration and what the Department of Justice did. We absolutely adhered to that, and it was right to do that. The Justice Department would make its decisions independent of any political or personal vendetta or concern that we may have. And that's the way it worked.
All right, we're going to take a break. Why?
We're going to take a break. They cut the commercial break right after she said that. I tell you, this heifer here. And then look, he crying again, on his millions and millions of dollars salary. He cried last night saying, of a difficult year he's had, and gaslighting people, that the Charlie Kirk's death must have really taken a toll on him. Oh, hell. You just can't make this up, man.
Who held a press?
He mocks RFK Jr. for redistricting gender affirming care for minors, saying it almost never happens. Literally, thousands of children undergo these procedures every year. I mean, these people, and then it's all about Trump. He up here crying, Trump. He must destroy Trump. Like, why do they still air this clown? Man. How do y'all feel about Jimmy Kimmel? Let me know in the comments. Some of y'all might disagree with me. Some of y'all might love Jimmy Kimmel. Hell, let me know in the comments. I wanted to get into this. Jimmy Kimmel loses it when he realizes Trump is right about Kamala, and I feel like a lot of people have realized Trump was actually right about damn near everything. That Trump was right about these politicians, the fraud, the corruption. I know some would argue, well, Trump said he would do this would happen, we would have accountability, transparency, there's some good arguments we can have, because, again, there's a lot of people walking around smiling that have not been held accountable, and it's a disgrace, man, it's the swamp, the sewer, is alive, down there. It's a disgrace, man, but let's get into this. I wanted to see what George was talking about. And shout out to my brother George, man.
This is a moment I don't think Kamala was expecting.
After the election, did you and Doug just start drinking?
He literally called her drunk live on television. I mean, man, you just can't make this up.
We did. Let me just say that we definitely.
Yeah, things got awkward in there, man. So not only did Jimmy Kimmel question her on her Epstein hypocrisy, he's also flat out saying, "You're an alcoholic. You're a drunkard." Ladies and gentlemen, Kamala Harris went on Jimmy Kimmel's show and he asked her the forbidden question. I must admit, I never saw that coming from someone like Jimmy Kimmel, but Kamala's answers fell short of convincing anybody. And yes, I'm calling her Kamala because she hasn't earned my correct pronunciation. In fact, the guest on the same show with Jimmy Kimmel didn't even know how to say her name either.
We were debating. We were at dinner, and we were saying, what if we meet her?
Yeah.
I said, well, okay, we'll bring the book. We got the book, right? And then they said, well, what is it? Kamala. And then my sister-in-law, Mariana, she's from Venezuela. She's saying it's Kamala. And I'm like, we can't be doing Kamala.
This is the first moment from that interview I thought was
I feel like
after.
everybody comes up there and mispronounce it. But we mispronounce it, we're racist.
Absolutely gold. It was Jimmy Kimmel calling out Kamala and the Democrats.
Unqualified. How did she pass the bar
Epstein
exam?
files, asking why they didn't release the Epstein files when they were in office, but expect the same from Trump. And then
Kamala lost, the grift is lost. Kimmel and the media are a bunch of hypocrites and liars.
Kamala gives a word salad, and no one believes it.
The Epstein files are supposed to be released on Friday. Do you believe we will see the entirety of those files?
You know, what he has done to
Okay.
treat the Department of Justice as his personal law
Oh, Lord,
firm
she's drunk as
is,
hell.
criminal in proportion to
And you didn't do the same
what
thing, you bitch?
it's supposed to be, and that it is supposed to be an independent body that does justice and blindfolded in terms of for whom, but for the country. They're supposed to operate without favor or fear, and what this Department of Justice has done. So I don't know.
Says the administration that weaponized the DOJ and prosecutors across the country against the leading candidate
They say, I swear, her default setting is drunk.
for president.
That they are going to do what they're saying they're going to do, which is release all of the documents that the American people have a right to see. But I will commend Republicans in Congress, those who have stood up to say
Kamala couldn't run a Starbucks. We got to vote in the midterms or this.
release the file. Yeah.
Do you think about, and I'm sure you get asked about, why didn't the Biden administration release those files? Was that something that they felt would look bad while?
And again, we just showed you the complete word salad. We must keep the DOJ and everything. We decided we wanted everything to be separate. The politics. Crap.
running against while running.
Us not to believe her. This is an answer that's not going to satisfy your curiosity. So listen closer and believe me anyway.
We, perhaps to our damage, but we
Perhaps to our damage. You mean detriment? We perhaps to our detriment. Detriment, Kamala, learn English. You expect us to learn how to say your name, learn how to construct coherent sentences. Please.
to our damage, but we strongly and rightly believe that there should be an absolute separation between what we wanted as an administration and what the Department of Justice did. We make its decisions independent of any political or personal vendetta or concern that we may have. And that's the way it works.
All right, we're going to take a break. This is the book. It's called.
He's like, all right,
They say, what the hell did she say? We dodged one. Thank the Lord.
we're just going to cut this short. That's a bunch of BS. The atmosphere in that room, there's a weird energy going on. That's one of those moments.
And then he picks up her book. Y'all know she's still on. This is all about that, we don't know what's coming next, but, we most definitely know right now it's all about the grift in the book tour. Her little book, 107 days.
Where Jimmy Kimmel should keep pressing. What do you mean you deferred to the Justice Department's judgment and that your administration wanted something else? Where's the proof for that? None of you guys campaigned on releasing the Epstein files. It's all a bunch of BS. And Kimmel knows that. That's why he's going straight to break. This is a moment I don't think Kamala was expecting.
After the election, did you and Doug just start drinking?
We did.
You heard the way everybody laughed, though? They know. A lot of them hate to admit it because they just hate Trump so much, but they know.
Let me just say that we definitely.
Yeah, things got awkward in there, man. So not only did Jimmy Kimmel question her on her Epstein hypocrisy, he's also flat out saying, you're an alcoholic. You're a drunkard.
Let me just say that we definitely, it took us some time.
When was the last time you spoke with President Biden?
About 3-4 weeks ago.
Do you feel like that Joe Biden and his people did everything they could to help you win the election?
When y'all was at Dick's funeral? I'm just saying. I don't know. I know.
I write about that, as you know, and certainly I think we needed more time, and from certain places in the administration, we needed more support.
Ooh, what were we saying all these years, ladies and gentlemen? That Kumbaya administration was a hoax. None of it was real. They wanted us to believe that Joe Biden and Kamala, two people from the opposite sides of the country, got along, and it was all sunshines and rainbows. No, they were fighting each other. You have factions within that administration. They make fun of the infighting on the right, but the left, man, they'll rip each other apart. The right wing will set aside differences for the country, but the left, if a leftist doesn't fully want to destroy the country, man, they want that person crucified. It's almost certain that she's going to run in 2028, and even the progressives on the left do not want that at all. I see videos like this constantly from leftist channels that are saying Kamala should not run again because they know she's cooked. In fact, things like this are just hilarious. Hold on, let me move myself.
I told y'all, we've seen so many leftist channels, so many leftist liberals saying, Kamala, please, hang it up. Please.
To the right side.